Hi everyone, this is Elizabeth Wagner, also known as Ralphyra Liadon from the Midnight Dn'D podcast. Join us this Friday at midnight and every Friday to uncover Ralphyra's dark secrets that I'm sure you are all waiting to know. Thank you once again, and join us on 91.5 WJHS and hear brand new episodes of Midnight Dn'D. Check us out online at WJHS91.5.org. Now, enjoy this week's Midnight Dn'D.
Welcome everybody to Midnight Dn'D. I'm your host, Dalton, and this is episode 4 of a 10-episode series. Slight recap on what happened last time. Our intrepid adventurers spent the entire episode fighting 3 eels that are about 5 foot in size. Let's continue off of that. Please roll initiatives.
Nat 20.
17.
Oh wow. Nat 20. Critical! Ray, you know what that means? 4.
The kazoo is in my head already.
Are you serious? We have a kazoo?
I got a 7.
I got a nat 1. You rolled a 1.
Finn, you're walking, and as you're trying to walk to go, jump off into the water, you somehow manage to catch your leg between the only rift between the cement blocks that you were standing on. You trip over and fall into the water head first. I'm going to need you to make a swim check before we get any further into the initiative rolls.
11.
All right. Out of your stupidity of somehow managing to trip into the water head first, you are now managing to come back to the surface and just kind of float in the water. All right, Crollo.
I'm going to keep heading down the path.
You're going to keep heading down the path?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the path ends about 5 feet from where you are, and you got to jump into the water to continue going forward.
Gross.
Like I said, it's not like all sewer water. It's like a channel of water. It's fresh, ocean water that's getting poured into there from a reservoir behind you.
I guess I'm making a swim check. 7.
All right, so you struggle to keep yourself afloat within the water. I guess Crollo didn't learn how to swim as a child, so now he's learning very quickly on how to learn how to swim.
DM, I'm gonna help my buddy Crollo here swim. I rolled a 17 on initiative, so I'm gonna put him on my back and we're gonna swim together.
Actually, Ralphyra rolled the next highest initiative.
What'd she roll?
Well, she rolled a 18 and then she had a 7 in her initiative, so she's at 25. All right, Ralphyra, you see Crollo almost drowning, and you see Finn has tripped into the water and is headfirst in the water and is slowly coming back up from beneath the water.
Where are we?
We're still in the sewer tunnel. You guys haven't moved very far, maybe 20 feet away from the ladder when you guys fought the eels last episode. Yes, Crollo.
I thought you said it wasn't a sewer.
I call it a sewer. It's kind of like what would you call
Oh, well.
It's a well. I mean, it's like a well that enters into a pathway into a sewer. It looks like a sewer system.
Waterway?
Save me.
Should I?
I will.
You've been fairly kind to me, so I assume that would be the wisest choice. I jump into the water and attempt to help Crollo.
There is now 2 people drowning together. Oh no! You jump in on top of Crollo and push him further below the water. You are both now drowning. Oh, this is good. All right, who had the next highest initiative between Hank and Erazio?
Hank. DM,
right.
Can I put them both on my back and swim with them?
I suppose make a swim and then make a strength.
You got it.
I don't weigh that much.
My swim is 8 plus 6.
A 14.
A 14, and my strength, a 19.
Yes, Crollo.
I'm just going to say that Ralphyra and Crollo are both scrawny.
Yeah, you guys are, I know, but you guys are still drowning together.
You're under the water.
Yeah, you guys are now drowning, flailing around in the water. Suddenly from beneath you, you feel a very solid mass begin to pick you up out of the water as you guys come above and you guys are catching your breath and breathing in the somewhat fresh air of the waterway. You notice that the person that has saved you is not Finn or Erazio, but the man Hank that Ralphyra once called him
a weakling.
I bet you learned not to do that anymore.
I will never say that to anyone ever again.
Yes, Crollo. Oh, that's it.
Asshole off, is that you?
That was a good one.
You can't pass on the line.
Hank is now swimming down the waterway while carrying you both on his back as if you were infantile children. Of course, I mean, Crollo didn't know how to swim to begin with, and Ralphyra just kind of jumped on top of him, which tangled them up, and they kind of just went whoop into the water. All right, Erazio, it's your turn. Make a swim check, Erazio.
Don't roll a 1.
Please roll a 1.
22.
All right, so out of everybody that has been swimming, Erazio and Hank are definitely the number one most athletic people within your group somehow. Erazio power bombs into the water like a cannonball and sends the water spraying out over to the edges, which then it seeps back from the cement slabs into the water. He begins swimming towards you guys and is now behind Hank. Finn, you're behind Erazio, and you guys are on Hank's back. Are you guys going to continue forward down the waterway?
I would like to try to swim on my own now to save Hank.
All right. So please roll a swim check and see if you can swim by yourself. It's a 17 plus whatever your swim is.
1.
All right, so an 18. Hank, you notice that the left side of your body gets a little less heavier as Ralphyra is now swimming beside you at her own pace now that she's caught her breath. Yes, Finn.
I didn't do anything after I
Roll a swim. Let's see how fast you're going, or if you're actually not going to drown, you know? Oh, no.
7.
Yeah, all right. You're doing a little bit better than Crollo was, and you're somehow managing to keep up while swimming with them. Alrighty, so you guys are now swimming down the waterway, and as you guys get towards the end when you guys were coming off the cement slabs, you guys notice that there's 3 paths to take. There's a left path, which you kind of hear water is draining into some sort of, I would say, a hole. To your right, you hear what sounds like the sloshing of feet and movement from that right side, and straight ahead is pitch black, and you guys can't hear any noise from it. But it does seem that it begins to go up in a staircase-like pattern. Yes, Erazio.
Does anyone here have, like, a spell that can determine the best path?
Oh,
He has
yes.
clairvoyance.
Please.
I have detect magic.
Oh, yes. Please. Please do it.
I'll use detect magic.
Wild magic! Woo!
No.
It's if it's a 1.
All right, you better roll a 1.
15.
Oh, that's no fun. As Crollo kind of leans up off of Hank, you notice that the bright light begins to charge within the middle of his palm into a blue sphere, and it launches out and then almost expands and then contracts really fast. Crollo, you detect that straight ahead, there's a very strong source of magical power it feels very dark and very desolate. To your right, you feel a more minor kind of feel of magic, and there's multiple signatures of magic over in that right path. From the left, you don't feel anything.
I believe the best path is straight ahead.
Okay, Crollo. Straight ahead, everyone.
Okay.
All right.
go.
So as you guys swim forward and come to another slab of solid cement, you guys can now climb up onto it if you want. There's a staircase that leads up. Yes, Erazio.
I would like to climb.
So I need all of you to make climb checks unless, Crollo, you're being carried by Hank up. Crit fail again.
I got crit fail.
Oh, no.
I got crit fail.
I got
Oh,
30.
you're on my back. I got you, dog.
I got
a 14 plus 8.
All right.
9.
So, unfortunately, Ralphyra, as you try to climb up, the piece that you grab a hold of has been worked on by the water sloshing back and forth against it. And it's made it really weak. So as you get about your torso up onto it, it breaks off and you fall into the water and you're getting pulled down by the current of the water down the left side of the path.
Can I try to grab her while Hank is still holding on to me?
Unfortunately, if you would have rolled anything besides a crit fail, I would have allowed you to try it, but you rolled a crit fail. So I cannot allow you to do that unless you want to risk the fact of falling off of Hank. Yes, Hank.
I rolled a 24. Can I use my bow staff to grab her backpack?
Roll a flat 20. Let me see. I want to see this.
13 plus my strength.
I'll allow it. As you begin to get pulled down the left path, you notice that something latches itself between you and your backpack as it begins to slowly pull you back to where you were. You notice that as you look back, Ralphyra, you're pulled back by this mysterious object that you now, when you turn around, realize that it is Hank with his bow staff. He's put it between you and your back and has now pulled you up to it and thrown you back over onto the ledge to where now you're successfully safe with Erazio, who has now climbed up as well onto the ledge and is now standing above you. Finn, what did you roll?
So I got an 8, so 13, and then one of my feats is athletic, which adds 2 to my roll, so 15.
All right, so Finn makes it up. Hank with Crollo makes it up. You guys are now standing at the bottom of a stairwell that is cut and chiseled out of stone. It is pitch black the entire way up. There's no source of light at all.
Can anyone make any light so we can see it all?
I have dark vision.
I can make lights.
You can see about, anybody with dark vision can see about 60 feet up, and that is about it. Anywhere past that, it's still pitch black. Crollo and then Hank.
Everyone except Hank has dark vision, I'm pretty sure.
I got 3 torches.
Would you like to try to light one of your wet torches?
Of course I'll light one of my wet torches.
They're wet. I mean, you guys were swimming. Have fun trying to light it.
Yeah.
You get a
Hey
minus,
man, let's see what my roll
you get a
is.
-5 to this roll.
Oh gosh. Alright. Well, there it goes. I
Yeah.
rolled a 1.
Your torch breaks in half.
Well, there, I'm down a torch now.
Yes, Crollo.
I guess I use dancing lights to produce a light source from my hands.
So,
What's my number? Wild magic.
I'm going to give you a 7.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness.
He did it. He did it.
Gotta roll percentage. 42.
Oof.
What do I do?
You notice that as soon as your magic begins to swell out of control, that it then calms and concentrates into the actual spell. It's a lot stronger than it originally was. It almost blinds every single one of you. You all need to make a fortitude.
Soft 20.
Is that a saving throw?
Yeah, that's a fortitude saving throw, or be blinded for 10 minutes.
Okay, 9.
13.
15.
All right, so everybody besides Ralphyra is basically okay for the most part. Ralphyra, unfortunately, since you had one of the lowest rolls, you are slightly blinded. It's almost as if you looked at the sun for a couple seconds and looked down. You got like this black circle within your vision. It kind of obscures it a little bit, so you'll have a -1 to all your rolls for about 10 minutes. Crollo, on the other hand, you were point and blank within it, so you were blinded for 10 minutes. You get a -3 to all your rolls, unless they're spell related, because that's with your hands and whatnot. That's close to your body. So you guys can now see the entire pathway has been lit.
What's ahead of us?
It just leads to a small door, like a trap door. Would you guys like to go up the stairs? All right, so are you guys going up the stairs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do any of you have detect trap? I feel like she would because she's a rogue, but
I do.
you do have detect trap. Would you
I
like
do.
to use detect trap?
I would like to do that.
All right, please roll detect trap.
Oh no.
My luck today is awful.
All right.
-1.
0.
All right, so you guys see her kind of like rubbing the wall as she walks straight up to this tripwire, and she looks at it. But because of the distorted vision that she has right now, she goes, "It's all right, guys. Come on ahead." And she walks and puts her hand right through the tripwire. All you need to roll hearing checks,
Oh, no.
which is just a percept, but I'm gonna say hearing.
0.
All right,
What's it again?
roll a percept. It's just, I do believe it's just percept. Yeah, no, it's just perception. It's just a percept roll.
Spot.
Spot. Okay.
Is that
6.
It's supposed to be all of your stats combined to your spot, technically, but
6.
all right. So what's Crollo got a 0? You got a 6. Then Ralphyra, what'd you get?
I got a 0. Remember? Oh, I have to do that too?
Yeah, you got to roll a spot.
So
Thought
it's
you rolled a 1 again. You got a 6.
so it's for spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so 7 plus, since I have a -1, it'd be 4.
Yeah,
7 plus 4 is
All right, so
11.
So 6, 11 is 0, and Erazio and Hank, what'd you get?
9.
9 for Erazio, and
I got an 8.
Wow, we're all.
for the most part, you guys hear light rumbling. You guys cannot identify where the rumbling is coming from or the height or direction of it. As you guys slowly begin to keep climbing up, as you guys get closer to the trap door above you, you notice that from behind you was where the noise was coming from, as the stairwell had been slowly beginning to fall away step by step behind you and is now picking up speed closer and closer to your position. All of you roll a reflex.
I was gonna say, we need to get out of here. Oh no. Okay, reflex saving throw, right?
Yes.
11.
16.
Erazio rolled a 1, too.
18.
No.
You guys both crit failed.
I got an 18.
This episode is full of crit fails.
Oh no.
Who hacked my phone?
So, Crollo, you managed to make it to the top first, though being blinded. You push open the trap door, and as you do, you are pushed out onto a flat lawn. Then quickly follows behind you, and so does Ralphyra. The only two that you do not hear are Erazio and Hank, as they're tripping over each other up the stairs, trying to get up to the door. If any of you want to try to make a reflex, or actually make grapples, and you guys can try to save and grab onto them.
Okay.
14.
14 in your grapple. Erazio and Hanky, you guys need to make grapples as well.
Where's grapple?
It's below right there.
Oh,
I got a 17.
11.
12.
I guess I'll try 5.
Finn, since you were the closest one with the highest total, you reach your arm down into the darkness and you grab a hold of what you now know is Hank's hand as you rip him up out of the hole. And then right afterwards comes Erazio nipping at Hank's heels. Right as you guys rip them out, you notice that the entire tunnel has now collapsed. And it is literally just a straight slanted drop back down into the water.
You guys okay?
Does it look like I'm okay?
Yeah.
It looks like you're holding on to Hank's heels.
I like how Crollo says, yeah, but yet he can't see. Does it look like I'm okay? I don't know, does it? I have my own quips this episode. But all right, so you guys now, I would say about 5 minutes has elapsed. Crollo, you can slightly see now. You're about where she was, and Ralphyra, you can now perfectly see. You guys notice that you have ended up on a flat lawn, and around you is a gigantic metal fence that almost spires up to the top. So, any of you want to make a spot?
I will.
I would like to.
Yes, Crollo.
Before we continue, I'm going to explain to the rest of the group. My magic has been acting up lately. I do not know why. It must be the area that we are in.
11.
You got an 11, Finn?
14.
22.
Erazio got a 14. Ralphyra got a 22. Crollo?
6.
Hank.
I didn't roll. Soft 20.
Everybody besides Crollo sees this gigantic spire of a lighthouse. It is a doom and gloom, rusted looking lighthouse. I mean, it looks like it's been neglected for maybe decades. At the top, you do notice the light's still on, though a lot dimmer than what it would be if it was a brand new one. You guys can feel a thick, dank feeling coming over you as you guys are now looking around. You notice that there's a light fog rolling in, or a mist, but it seems to have no particular source.
Hey guys, what's going on? I can't see anything.
There's this fog coming in. We're at the lighthouse. So that's cool.
As you guys are looking into the fog, it's now taking over your vision. And if you look close enough, it almost appears as if there's faces and hands and parts coming in and out of the fog and the shadows, reaching out towards you.
Does anyone else see the hands and...
I don't.
Well, we know you don't.
Is this a place where we should have combat, or should we run?
I don't know.
I'm taking out my battle axe just to be safe.
Roll initiatives.
Have you been drinking the blue?
Nat 20.
Soft 20.
Crollo, your vision is now fine. You now see these monstrous visions in the fog and in the shadows.
Great crit failed.
12?
Nat 20.
I got a 12 as well, but mine's a nat 12.
You got a nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
Crollo.
Soft 20.
Ralphyra.
Soft 12.
Erazio got a crit fail, and Hank got a
Hard 12.
hard 12. All right.
So it's a 13.
Finn, you're going first. What would you like to do? Basically, all you see right now is that you see that these, what you think are just fog monsters, are reaching out, trying to claw at you in the party.
I'm gonna separate my sword.
You gotta separate your sword. That takes your move action.
Yeah.
You are now still close enough to attack them if you want.
Sure. Why not?
Alrighty. I need you to roll a d20 plus your melee.
19.
You indeed hit, so please roll 2d8s.
Lord.
You all see Finn separate his sword and pull it apart, and as he does this, you see one of the fog monsters reach out and try to claw at him. And as it claws at him, Finn backsteps and swings both of his swords simultaneously, almost separating it into two different pieces. With this, you see the fog monster recede back into the fog with a very loud and angry hiss. You notice that the other fog monsters that are now beginning to surround the party are pulling back as well with that one. Finn has somehow managed to almost strike fear into them. Crollo, it is now your turn.
I'm gonna pass my turn.
Crollo passes his turn. Hank, it is your turn.
I'll follow suit. I'm gonna pass my turn.
Oh, you're gonna... Oh, alright. Ralphyra, it is your turn.
I'm also going to pass my turn.
Alright. I'm not even gonna continue for the combat. You notice that the fog slowly begins to recede as a bright light begins to appear from within the fog, almost separating it and shredding it apart. You notice that there's a man and a figure with silver hair, almost like Vincent's, is walking through the fog, his sword in one hand, creating a bright light that is now dispersing the fog, and then the sword to his left is creating a thick shadow that is now beginning to wash over around him, almost hiding his appearance.
So it's your magic I sensed.
He goes, and it's yours that I sensed as well.
Would you know why my magic has been acting up lately? Random things have been happening whenever I cast my spells.
He goes, I'm assuming that you were told you were a wizard.
Yes.
Oh, well, that is not the case. Your magic is that of sorcery. Your magic is beginning to run rampant and wild without your control. It is now beginning to take its own form.
So what does that mean for me?
Oh, well, it just means you're going to have to concentrate more on making your magic behave in a way.
What is the difference between wizardry and sorcery?
Wizardry, you control the magic. And sorcery, the magic can control you.
Alright.
You see him sheath his swords as he holds out his hand to Crollo. He goes, hello there. My name is Maximus.
Hi, Maximus. I'm Crollo.
He goes, my father told me about you and told me that I should head to the lighthouse to give you aid.
Who's your father?
Oh, you can't tell by my stylish good looks. My father's Vincent.
Well then, don't hurt us.
He looks so strong.
Oh, flattery won't get you nowhere, dear. Though I appreciate it.
I'm making up for lost time.
You're making up for the fact that my father had to put you in place.
Do you have any blue on you?
Unfortunately, I do not share the passion of drink as does my father. I find many other things to preoccupy my time, such as adventuring and trying to solve the issues that my father hired you to solve for him.
So where do we go from here?
Well, into the lighthouse, of course. You do have the key. Or at least I feel like my drunkard old father should have given it to you.
I have the key to the well.
I could use my burglar pack and try to break it open.
I do believe last episode I gave one of you the key.
You gave me the key to the well.
I gave one of you the key to the lighthouse. Vincent handed it to you. It was either that or go to the hospital.
That's right.
Oh, I have the lighthouse key. I'm sorry.
He goes, yes, Crollo. He goes, Ralphyra, is it?
Yes,
I do believe my father said you had the key.
I do have the key.
would you mind me taking it off your hands?
No problem. Here.
As you hand him the key, you notice that as he takes a step, he almost phases out into a misty formation and then reappears by the door of the lighthouse. He goes, "What's taking you so long?"
We don't teleport like you do.
He goes, "Oh, my dear friend, that was not teleportation. It's just that I was moving so fast that your minuscule mind could not tell that I was moving that fast."
I like this guy.
So as you guys see him put the key into the door, he slowly turns it, and with a loud creak, a louder creak than what you would expect from a normal door, it begins to slowly open. A very cold blowing of air erupts from within the door. It's very dry air, as almost as if this place hasn't been opened up in decades. So,
I'll see what's in there.
all right, Crollo.
Maximus, do you know why we're at this lighthouse?
Well, there's trials and tribulations that we must go through in the lighthouse, of course. This place has been a very interesting spot for evil and magus for a while, as well as the lighthouse, with all the zombies and demons and vampires running about. Finn, does this news unnerve you? You notice that he phases behind you as he puts his arm around your back and he goes, "Don't worry, my dear friend. As long as I am here, I will be a savior. None of you will get hurt." And he shoves Finn into the door first. And he goes, "Oh, this is gonna be fun."
I'm gonna follow right behind him.
You, what elf? Let's go.
Okay.
Half-breed. Enter. Human man. That's way too buff. Enter.
Okay.
So you guys are now entering the lighthouse. Is there any spotting, any initiatives that you guys want to roll?
I'm gonna roll spot and then use detect magic.
Alrighty.
I'm also gonna roll spot.
I will also roll.
I crit failed spot.
You go blind. you managed to poke yourself in the eye with a rusty door. The rust off the door is flaked into your eye. You're blinded for like 5 minutes.
Can I still use detect magic?
Yeah, that's fine. It's more of a feeling and a sensation. I mean, if you had your eyes, you'd be able to see where it's coming from, but you can sense its general direction.
Detect magic.
Oh,
Did he crit fail on it?
no. He got a 6.
I got a 6.
Crollo, you feel up above you a slight magical presence. That's about it. That's all you can tell. Unfortunately, since you rolled the 6, I can't let you know more. And of course, Maximus's energy.
I rolled a 13 for my spot.
And
24.
Finn, did you roll a spot?
No.
Hank, did you roll one?
I did. I got a 19.
So you said 22?
24.
24, a 19, and a 13. Alright, so Hank and Ralphyra, you guys see a lot more than what the others would see. Hank, it's very dark in there, but for some reason, your vision begins to change more to a white and black stationary picture, to where if you just look in one general direction, it looks like you can actually see in the dark.
Am I dying?
No, Maximus kind of pats you on the back and goes, "No worries, friend. Even the ones that can't see in the dark can see in my presence. I bring the light."
Thanks, friend.
He goes, "No worries." And he just gives a slight chuckle and a smile.
Hank, I need your help. I can't see.
Here's a torch for you.
I have rust in my eyes. I cannot see.
Here's some water.
I was an adventurer like you, took rust into my eyes. All right, Ralphyra, you see everything. You see that there's a spiral staircase leading up, but the bottom of the room is completely desolate, except for maybe some rusty desks.
Can someone lead me up the stairs?
Would any of you like to lead them up the stairs? I'll leave them on the bottom floor.
No.
I'm not doing anything with
Have
him.
Maximus do it. He seems to be the savior.
Maximus comes up to you, and he gets almost up into your face. You can't see it, but he blows into your eyes, and the rust peels out and falls to the ground. You now see.
Thank you.
He goes, "No problem. It's what I do." And he begins to lead the charge up the stairs.
I'm going right behind him.
I'll follow, since I'm standing right there.
As you guys come to the second floor, you now notice that there are 5 large pillars placed within the floor. They look as if they can be pushed. You notice that there's 4 pedestals. Each one has a color, and then there's a color tile coordinated onto the floor. And then there's a larger, more rounded tile within the middle. He goes, this looks like a puzzle. Like I said, trials and tribulations, puzzles, whatnot. This lighthouse is full of them. I mean, if any of you would like to attempt the puzzle, you can.
I'll look around and see what all is there besides the 5 pillars.
There's nothing on this floor besides the 5 pillars. You cannot see anything else besides the pillars. Yes, Crollo.
So there are 5 pillars. Are there 4 tiles on the ground?
There is 1 pillar in the middle, and there's 4 ones outside of it that are color-coded that are have a matching tile on the floor, yes.
Hey, buff human, Hank, move the pillars to where the colors match.
Sounds like fun. I'm gonna do that thing.
Are you pushing them hard or pushing them soft? How are we pushing these?
With a single punch.
You're gonna...
What? Wait.
All right.
Biff.
Roll strength.
Okay. Soft 22.
As soon as you hit the pillar, you notice that it is a lot lighter than you at first looked at and glanced. It begins to careen across the floor with such force that when it slams into the wall, it falls out of the wall and to the ground below.
Whoops.
You all begin to hear a loud cackling as this happens.
Hank, what'd you do?
I just punched it.
You notice that all the pillars begin to vaporize and rise to the ceiling. And as it rises to the ceiling, it then drops suddenly to where you guys are now standing at. You notice that there's a single figure standing within the mist. It appears to be a woman. She is staring at you with bright red glowing eyes as she begins to tap her very long, sharpened, I would say they would look like talons almost. She goes, I've been trapped in that puzzle for millennia. That old man put me there, and now I've come for revenge. And look, a living spawn. So much fun to be had. So much fun that I've missed out on. And I have you, human, thank.
Whoopsie. I'm sorry.
You just had to show off, didn't you?
He goes, oh. You hear Maximus just kind of sigh and he goes, oh, it's you. Yes, Crollo.
Hank put a lot of his fiery passion into that punch, and then I used Burning Hand on her.
14.
13. 1 off.
Ooh. Roll initiatives.
20. 20.
Soft 22.
9.
8.
All right. I think we're going to leave the episode right off on that initiative check. Thank you all for listening to the Midnight Dn'D podcast, episode 4. For the last 3 episodes, I've been very happy with my cast and with Mr. Glaza that has allowed us to use the technology and allowed to use the space and time to make the podcast. So please join us next Friday at midnight, of course, for episode 5, where we find out what the true trials and tribulations Maximus talked about in the lighthouse was. Maybe there will be an epic fight. Maybe there won't. Please join us next time on Midnight Dn'D.